Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to our session number 3 de ese tercer ciclo que seguimos avanzando juiciosamente. Bueno, guys, for today we have Unit 8 Review. Bien sabemos que a la naturaleza de nuestro curso, pues vamos avanzando súper rápido en el desarrollo de las unidades. Y esta primera parte, hoy vamos a estar trabajando todo lo que es repaso, incluso la segunda parte, porque les hablo en español. Estaba mirando el aula virtual y por el momento no hay avance en el desarrollo de la unidad 8. ¿Listo? Entonces, la sugerencia es pues no dejar para última hora, como les he comentado. Sé que empezamos hace 2 días, pero por lo menos 1 o 2 cuestionarios que se vayan avanzando, ya que pues obviamente la otra semana arranca la 9. Pareciera por lo que arrancamos cortado y como que tenemos más tiempo, pues no sé qué tanto uno pueda contar con los fines de semana, pero nuevamente, no esperemos hasta tan adelante, ¿ok? Well, guys, anyway, it's your time, it's your agenda. I really hope that you get to do most of the activities, hopefully all of them, okay? Let's see, we already have here some participants. I wanted to ask you, bueno, de pronto si alguien ya ingresó a la plataforma, pero bueno, digamos que la pregunta se me cae un poquito porque como no han empezado a realizar las actividades, pues, ¿qué más puedo preguntarles? Como siempre al pendiente de la información. Well, guys,
Yo sí
yes. Manuela,
tengo-
pero vi que estaba abierto, que no lo habías terminado, señora.
Sí, es que yo veo que hay uno que se llama A2.3 Grupo 2, pero yo estaba trabajando en el que se llama superintensivo de la 2.1 a la 2.4. Yo ahí ya hice varios ejercicios, bueno, intercalados de la 8 y de la 9, pero, o sea, no sé, los tengo que hacer ahora es en la que dice A2.3.
Manuela, pues no sé si recuerdas el día de la presentación, digamos, yo le tomé precisamente una fotico a eso, pues tomando como base, digamos, la confusión que teníamos al final del A2.2. Y por eso yo les marcaba acá que es A2.2, ¿qué? A2.3, grupo 2, es esto. Porque muy probablemente se estaba mirando ese, el superintensivo, este primero, que este fue con el que arrancamos, no es este. Manuela, lo siento. Creo que no le estoy compartiendo la así.
Sí, sí,
Entonces,
estoy dentro.
sí. Entonces, sí, ese es súper intensivo. Este fue el primero que si ustedes se acuerdan al principio, la idea era que como que toda una gran nota final se sacaba cuando teníamos el 2.4, que todo valía como que 1%, 3%. pero luego se hizo el ajuste y se empezó a sacar, digamos, notas bloque por bloque, y por eso ahora, digamos, quizzes vale 40, por decirlo así, el parcial, el examen, bueno, sí, parcial porque no vale 30. Entonces, por eso yo les decía que era este
Van a estar
pedacito
aparte.
particular. Sí, sí, cada cachito.
Vale, profe, gracias.
Listo, Manuela. Pues igual, digamos, ya adelantó, ya práctica, es cuestión de pasar, por decirlo así, entonces tratando de verle el lado amable. Pero bueno, aprovechando la experiencia de Manuela, sí, guys, en la presentación inicial, digamos, yo le tomé captura de esto porque, claro, les tiene que salir tanto los cursos pasados como el que dice Manuela, este es súper intensivo. Ese era el de primer ciclo y ya con los nuevos ajustes vamos a ir, digamos, parte por parte, sección por sección. Entonces, la que debemos trabajar es en esta, A2.3, grupo 2, que solo nos salen las 3 unidades que nos interesan en este corte, la costumbre de usar corte, ¿no? En este ciclo, que vienen siendo la 8, la 9 y la 10. Entonces, ahí salimos de pronto de alguna duda en caso de que ustedes se pregunten cuál es el apartado al cual deban ingresar. Well, guys, let me take attendance so we can start tonight's review. Well, the good thing I dare to say is that today it's all about refreshing our memory. Let me check here the list. There is Sergio David Gómez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Benjamín Isidro. Not here for the moment. André Felipe Jaimes. Bueno, no es Andrés por el momento. Jennifer Paola Martínez. Creo que está capacitada. Let me continue. Sí, así es. Kiara Lisette Martínez.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Jorge Jair Moreno.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Diego Fernando Olarte.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Dana Valentina Ortiz. No ha llegado todavía. Manuela Ortiz.
Present, teacher.
Joan Sebastián Pavón.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Beatriz Pedraza.
Present.
Ok. Hamilton Peña. Yo lo vi. No me parece conectado. Bueno, ahorita que me conteste, arreglo acá. Xiomara Caterina Rincón.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Jessica Paola Ríos.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Catherine Alexandra Rodríguez.
Present, Miss.
Ok. María Alejandra Rosso.
Present,
Ya
teacher.
reviso el chat. Ok, María Alejandra. Let's see the chat. Yes, Hamilton, there you are. Listo, entonces. Marlon Yesit.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Mendy Fabián. One is not here.
Profe Mendy me escribió por el chat
Sí.
que está viajando, pero él está intentando conectarse. Me escribió por WhatsApp, entonces no sé
Ok.
si...
Con razón me sale como varias veces iPhone intentando ingresar.
Sí, sí, señora, pero creo que no ha podido.
Sí, bueno, de pronto ahorita más adelante lo logra. Thank you, María. Karen Juliet Torres.
Present.
Ok. María Alejandra Vega.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Vanessa Zambrano.
Present, teacher.
Ok. And Natalia Navarro.
Present.
Ok, bueno, Vicky ingresó Benjamín. Y también Vicky ingresó Benjamín Andrés Felipe. There you are, guys. Very good. Let me make the adjustment immediately. Pero también voy a colocar el comentario que Mendy va de viaje. Intentando ingresar. Maybe he can make it in a couple of minutes. Okay. The administrative things. Okay, very good, guys. As I was telling you, well, and as you could imagine after yesterday's, well, the whole session, of course, talking about the 4 hours, for today, we're going to have a general review. As you noticed, when we're talking about review, we talk about all different components. So for today, we have some, let's say, grammar exercises to refresh our memory, about vocabulary. And then at the end, we will have a speaking activity for a conversation. Let me see the chat. Yes, Mendy, me imagino, ¿cierto? Ya hago el ajuste. Permítanme, hago de una vez. Listo, para que no lo llamen ahorita. Valentina Ortiz. Nice. Guys, give me a minute. Bueno, pregunta, ¿ese iPhone era Mendy o era Valentina? Porque a veces es Mendy. Era Valentina. Listo, menos mal me aclaro. O a veces es también María Alejandra. Ya uno va conociendo más o menos cómo ingresan. Well, I think we can begin. As I was telling you, we will finish hopefully with a speaking activity that is connecting some of the aspects that you studied during this session. So let's start. The first topic that we started on this new cycle was, in terms of grammar, of course, was talking about articles. Well, articles belong to this group of function words. Basically, they are there to enrich and polish the language. And one of the main differences we said is that there are 2 categories. First of all, talking about the definite article for the moment, we already know that in English, we only have one, that is the. And basically when we use it, it's because we already know what we are talking about. There are some rules that we will refresh in a moment, but basically, as the name states, it is definite because the identity is pretty clear. It is obvious for everybody, most of the cases. In other cases, we have the indefinite article, and we have, let's say, 2 possibilities. We have a or an. We always use it only when it is singular. We gotta be very careful. It may sound obvious, but when we say singular, we're talking about one. We use a because it is the next word starts with a consonant noun, and we use an because the next word, it starts with a vowel sound. We also were talking about some rules, you know, in order to recognize in which cases we use it or not. Also, we have to be very careful when we are talking about count and non-count nouns, which was also the second grammatical aspect, talking about, we can also say the other name, countable and uncountable, right? When we say countable, as the name states, it's because we can count it and can be plural or singular. In the case of non-countable, there are aspects or objects, I look at the chat in a moment, that can be counted, you know, and usually in terms of grammar, they are, let's say, conjugated, or they are used with singular grammatical structures. Let me now see the chat. Welcome, welcome. So In conclusion, we say that when the identity is not known, we use a or an. And when the identity is known, like it's very specific, we use the. And in the case of the, we don't have any restriction, talking about countable or uncountable. We were also having a look at the grammatical rules. Basically, we were saying things that are unique, you know, things that people already know. And also I was telling you that in some cases we have collocations and they are like fixed combinations, like play the piano or any musical instrument. When we're talking about the prime minister, the president, the queen, because we're talking about one of a kind. But at the end of the day, we're talking about something, let's say that it is obvious for the whole audience. Now, to refresh our memory, I'm sure that we want to spend a lot of time talking about the grammatical part. Here we have our first exercise. In this case, the exercise is only about the, okay? We are not talking about a or an in this exercise. The instruction says, write that in the sentence, sorry, in the correct places in the sentences. In this case, of course, connected to the topic that we are studying on Unit 8, we are talking about different, let's say, places in terms of geography. There are things, let me erase this, I don't want it to confuse you. There are things that probably are very general, as you already know, but the intention is also that, remember some grammatical structures that include the, for example, the superlatives. So make sure to have a look at all the sentences. In all the sentences, there is one place that you have to include the, okay? That is going to be our exercise to refresh our memory, talking about articles, specifically talking about the definite article. Guys, do you have any question about the instruction? Let me turn this off. Questions? Well, I take your silence as you don't have any question. Remember, guys, only the, that's the idea. And you have to use it. Well, I was telling you that once that, but actually there are some sentences that you can use it twice. I'm gonna give you 6 minutes. I'm sure that this exercise is pretty simple for you. Let's start. 6 minutes starting now.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
teacher, ya te había escrito en el chat que estaba conectado de las y cuarto.
Sí, señor, dice el ajuste.
Muchas gracias.
No problem, dice, sí, señor. Well, guys, time's up. The idea was to identify the sentences in order to add the article there. In some cases, you had to add it twice, and actually there was one sentence in which you didn't have to include it. I'm sure that you already noticed which one it was. Let's see. Alejandra, what about number 1? Did you add the article in number 1? Alejandra Rosso?
No, teacher. Eso no necesita. Queda igual. The same.
It was the same. In terms of comparatives and superlative, the comparative doesn't require the article, only the superlative. Very good, Alejandra. Andres Felipe, what about number 2? From number 2 to number 8, we had to add it. How many of them did you use, Andres Felipe? 1 or 2?
Teacher, can you repeat me the question, please?
Yes, in sentence number 2. In number 2, we had to add the article. Well, now
Yes.
let's read the complete sentence now, the one that you have.
Okay. So New York is the biggest city in the world.
In the world, yes, that's why I was asking you how many times did you use the article, and in the case of number
okay.
2,
Two cases.
it was 2 cases. Very good. That was the thing,
Okay.
Andres. Thank you. Let's have a look at number 3, Beatriz. In number 3, how many articles did you use? 1 or 2?
1.
Perfect. So how is the sentence now?
Mountain Fuji is in China. It's the highest mountain in Asia.
Mount. This one is Mount. That's it, Beatriz. Perfect. Thank you. Let's have a look at number 4. Benjamin, how many articles did you include?
There is 2 articles. The Queen of England lived in the Buckingham Palace, London.
Okay, actually in this case is only 1. There are some places that don't require the use of the article, and the case of Buckingham Palace, it is not necessary. In Spanish, we would use it, el palacio, blah, 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 blah. But in English, that place doesn't require it. But in the first one, the queen, absolutely, because she's the only one. We may think that, okay, but also that happens with the place. But with Buckingham Palace, we don't use the article.
Okay, teacher.
Perfect, Benjamin, thank you. Let's have a look at number 5, Diego. How many did you include?
The Mediterranean Sea is bigger than Pacific Ocean.
Okay, definitely with the Mediterranean Sea, but also with Pacific Ocean, we have to use the article because it is one of a kind, With the oceans, we have to use the article with all of them. So in number 5, we needed 2. Hamilton, what about number 6? Hamilton, I see that your microphone is open, but I definitely can't hear like any sound. No, Hamilton, I didn't listen. Let's see the chat. Okay. The moon and the sun. That's what happens. Remember, one of a kind. And in those cases, that's like the rule, We have to learn them by heart. Let's have a look at number 7, Jorge.
Number 7, teacher.
7, yes.
The Alps are a mountain range in Scotland.
Scotland, that's it. Very good. Those are the answers. Let me see the chat. The microphone doesn't work. Yeah, Hamilton. Unfortunately, that's happening tonight. Hopefully later it works because we have a speaking activity. And then we finish this exercise with number 8. Karen Juliet.
The Mississippi River is in the United States.
That's it, the Mississippi River. Okay. I'm gonna show you the answer key, you know, for you to compare with your answers. Okay, precisely. Jorge is asking about some of the answers, so you can compare with number 5. So number 1 was the only one that didn't have any. That's a, let's say, grammatical component doesn't require it. In other cases, as we said, that's the grammatical rule. As we already know the case of the superlatives, we have here the biggest or the highest. In other cases, talking about one of a kind, probably is one of the most common rules that this article in particular has. The moon, the sun, and there are other cases that although we're talking about one of a kind, like in some places, they don't require the article, like the case of Buckingham Palace, you know, that would be the thing to keep in mind. And remember, this is not like a precise rule 100% of the cases, as we said the other day. And probably the most important thing is that we can't really compare it with the Spanish. That would be quite confusing, you know. Well, guys, anyway, I hope, well, I also included, if you remember in the first presentation, some links for you to practice, plus the activities that you have on your virtual campus. I hope that with all those, let's say, extra exercises, well, you can practice a little bit more. Anyway, do you have any questions, guys, from this part?
No, teacher.
That would be it.
No,
Very
miss.
good. Great. So first aspect, and then besides the grammatical component, of course, talking about the articles and geography, we're going to move to our second topic to practice tonight, which is talking about vocabulary of geography. After this part, you know, talking about geography in general, remember that we still have a presentation from yesterday, so where you were talking about Canada, but we're going to start first with this part, talking about geographical features, and then we will move to our presentation from group number 6. So I'm going to share here the link with you. Give me a second. There it is. Let me share the sound. There you go. So remember that besides the articles, we were talking about cities in general, then we started talking about geography. Let's see how good your memory is about with that vocabulary. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes, maybe less. It's a really fast Kahoot, let me tell you now. Let me set up the timer while you take part of the game. "12 participants. Well, guys, you're supposed to be 20. Well, I know that some of you are having problems with the connection. At least 18. Let's wait. We still have like 30 seconds for the other participants. When the alarm rings, that's when we start. Well, 17. I guess that's it. Is everybody here? Well, the ones that can take part of this, of course, in case that the internet is not working that well. Diego, there you go. Okay, guys, as I was telling you, it's a really fast Kahoot. And that's the idea, to refresh our memory about different words of geography. Let's start. 2, 1, 0, bam. I told you, it's really fast. Which mountain is the tallest? Remember, we're connecting the geographical aspects and of course, well, more than aspects, features, and of course the topics that we studied. When I told that it was fast, I meant it. Okay, Andres, excellent. It's 5 seconds per question. Dryer, very good. Andres, you're still the first one, excellent. Good memory, very good. The fastest. Remember that when we use this article, guys, is because we're talking about the superlative, which we were like refreshing a little bit some seconds ago. Oh my God, Diego, you're the first one now. The lake. Is lower, very good. Of course, the idea is to make sure that the statements make sense, right? Changes a little bit. Natalia is now here on this chart. Let's continue. Which island is the? Excellent, warmest, superlative. You already got the hang of it, of course. A hill, you already know what that is. Very good, this is smaller than a mountain, absolutely. The changes, well, interesting. Let's see if any of you makes here a mistake. What about the waterfall? Is taller, remember. That goes only for the superlative. Very good, Hamilton. Now you're the first one. Let's continue here. What about the lake? Is wider, excellent. Let's see. Very good, Kiara, you're just there. 2 questions to finish. Very good. Let's see. Careful, Diego, with final question. Is wider. Okay. Usually the comparative was here on the red spot. Well, let's see the winner. To refresh a little bit our memory with geographical features. And also we continue with the line of the comparative. Sebastian, excellent. Diego. I was going to say comparative, the article, sorry. And the absolute winner, Hamilton. Very good. That's a nice avatar. Let's see the runners-up, Kiara and Maria V. You were yes there, guys. Very good. Okay. As I was telling you, and as you already knew, we don't really need our sound for a moment. Yesterday, you were making your pitch presentations about Canada. We could finish with the first 5 groups. We still have pending Valentina Ortiz, Caterina Alexandra, and Maria. So, like following the line of our, let's say, organization of the night, this would be the moment for you, ladies, to make your presentation. So, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, ladies, perfect.
Okay. Good evening. The members of this group are Catherine, Valentina, and me. Written about Canada. Canada is a monarchy. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, and therefore the official head of state is Her Majesty, the Queen-in-Law over Canada, who delegates all her powers of the Governor General of Canada. Article 9 of the Constitution. Second item, Canada's size. Canada is the second largest country in the world in area after Russia, occupying roughly the northern 2/5 of the continent of North America. Total area 9,984,670 square kilometers. Area north of the tree line 2,728,800 square kilometers, over 27% of Canada's total area. Next with Catherine.
Hello, everyone. I'm talking about the first Europeans to colonize Canada. The first Europeans to come to Canada were probably the Vikings, who landed on Baffin Island and along the Atlantic coast in the century folks in the 10th century. They and Giovanni Caboto, Joao Fernandez, and Giovanni de Verrazano.
Catherine, is there any other member who's going to present?
Yes, Miss Valentina is next one. Okay. Famous Canadians living in the USA. American is full of the famous Canadians like Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, Drake, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Elon Musk, Jim Carrey, and Madonna, and more. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, ladies, thank you. Well, as you already noticed, well, you started with the introduction. Remember what I told you yesterday? Let's try to read like as less as possible. I know that the idea was to find like very general aspects, but the intention is like to have this as a support and not just like to read, okay? Well, careful, because here you said the Vikingos. We have here the word in English, of course, talking about the Vikings. And well, careful with the transition. Maria made the transition to Catherine, and Catherine, you were just like only quiet, and that is why I had to ask you, is there another person? The person is not here, and you know, that sometimes happens, you know, when presentations, and that's okay. Then if the person is not here, one member of the group will has to take like that information and present it. And also the closure, like, as I told you the other day, yesterday, like, it is not just a silence, like, okay, and the awkward silence, and then we have to guess, okay, is it finished? Probably are they going to say something else? So just keep that in mind. But ladies, anyway, thank you very much for your time. Also, you included some pictures, and well, Maria, and I'm reading my notes again, make sure to update the information. It's not the queen anymore, right? Now it's the king. So careful with the updating of the information. Probably you were looking at a, let's say, outdated site. Very good, guys. So we have been talking about the articles. We refreshed very quickly our memory talking about geographical features. Also, we took advantage of group number 6 to connect it with that information. Another topic that you were studying in this unit 8 was about countable and uncountable, not only in the general aspects of geography, but we were talking also about food. This is what you are going to do. I'm going to send you a link to the chat. First, I'm going to give you the instructions, of course. There it is. Here we have different items talking about food. All that you have to do is to classify them. Of course, there are the two categories. We have countable and also we have uncountable. Okay, in case that you make, like you say, okay, probably this is countable. Of course it's not, but then if you want to change it, you can do it. All the boxes have to be filled in, okay? All of them. You have to use all the words that we have in here in order to classify them into the 2 categories. When you finish, then you click here on submit your answers to see, let's say how many points you got, and as you already know, like how much time you took to organize the words. Once again, notice that in this case, we're focusing now our attention talking about food, which is one of the, let's say, inputs that we need for the next activity, which is going to be for you to create a conversation. I haven't sent the link. I'm just for the moment explaining the instruction of the activity. Guys, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, miss.
Great, thank you very much. So when I send the link, remember you have to type your name. In this case, it's going to be individual. There you go. It's pretty simple for you, I'm pretty sure, but anyway, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes in case that you want to like try again, because of course it's let's say it's a competition. Let's see who has the best time, and of course that means that you answer most of them, not to say all of them correctly. So guys, is the link working properly? Guys, the link, is it
Yes,
good?
teacher.
Perfect. I'm not interrupting you anymore. 5 minutes starting now. Well, guys, time's up. You're sending here your answers. But you know, actually, it is not necessary to send them. But anyway, thank you for those facts that you were sending in here. Oh my God. This is the podium so far. Xiomara, Kiara, and Beatriz. Of course, as you remember, let's say that this type of games value that the answers are, let's say, organized correctly. And of course, on second aspect to be like kept in mind would be the amount of time spent. Let's see. Did you 15? Let me refresh. Probably some of you have already finished. There were 23. What, so many people? Maybe there are some repeated names. 23. With me, 22. Ah, yeah. There is an iPhone. I guess it's Valentina again. Okay. 16. Let's see if there was any change. No changes. We still have the same podium. Well, guys, let's have a look at the answer key. And maybe if you have any questions, we can solve them in order to, let's say, make sure that the information is pretty clear. Now, make sure that when we are classifying, in this case, these items of food, in some cases, they can be countable when we are talking about the container, right? Let me turn this on for a moment. For example, all the information that we have in the category of uncountable, they could be countable at some point if we're talking about a bottle, if we're talking about the amount of portions, if we're talking about grains, or if we're talking about milliliters, if we're talking about pieces, that make them countable, okay? So the idea was to focus only on the name. There are some cases that we could consider that it is kind of, let's say, obvious, like the case of onions maybe, or the case of milk. There are other cases that they are a little bit tricky, and sometimes our perception could be like, let's say, biased, or we could get confused. For example, the case of raisins. When we say raisins, we would say, okay, but I'm not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in the grammatical category, they are considered countable, you know? For example, the case of sausages. You may consider, okay, but those are like made portions. Sausages are countable. So there are some cases that the rule itself, it is not that like perfect and precise. In some cases it is. In some cases, we just have to learn them by heart, you know? So let's not complicate like our lives. That would be the idea. Someone is asking me the meaning of pepper is what we call pimentón, based on the picture, because pepper, if we add a color like white pepper or black pepper, would be pimienta. And in that case, that would be uncountable. Okay. Like in this case.
Teacher.
Yes, Alejandra.
Chicken, the animal is countable, ¿cierto?
Yes, and you know, actually with chicken, let's say that it's a discussion, because yes, we can say that when the animal is alive and it is the complete piece, it's a live one. And when, let's say that it's ready for consumption, and it's like in one piece, it is considered countable. But when it is already like divided into different pieces, then would be uncountable.
Thank
so
you.
That is the thing. Yeah, it's tricky. Any other case that you would like to clarify? I'm just looking. Peanuts, yeah, like peanuts, for example. You're not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but in grammar they are countable. So I always say in those cases, let's not fight like mentally, you know, like that's not the point. That's the rule. That's how it works. Okay. Well, guys, let's move to the next part. This is the part that actually is going to take most of your time. In this case, you're going to create that conversation. Actually, there will be like 2 types of conversations that you will, let's say, conduct in your groups, but they go on the same idea, talking about countable and uncountable. Sorry. I'm going to show you the situations. Well, first instruction, of course. The idea that you make sure that you use the quantifiers, which was one of the topics studied, and of course, talking about countable and uncountable, which is going to be like your source. Of course, the information that we have on the charts and also the images that you will see. As I was telling you, there are two different possibilities. Let me, well, you already were having a look at them while I was opening them. So here we have the first conversation. This is the name of the cafe. It says, you are the new managers of this branch of the Hungry Hippo Cafe. You want to open the cafe tomorrow. Look at the menu and the pictures and decide why you got too much, too many of, why you have, what, sorry, you haven't got enough of, what you haven't got any of. Here we have, let's say, the information for the drinks, hot food, sandwiches, and desserts. This is the North Street branch. The other groups would receive the South Street branch. It is pretty much the same idea. We have the same questions. We have here the information of the menu. And remember to have a look at the pictures. The pictures will be, I didn't show this one, like your point of reference. What is going to be the idea, guys? You have to create a conversation in which you answer the questions that we have here, okay? Now, let me go back to the slide. Aspects to keep in mind. Of course, you have to use information as a reference, and in your conversations, guys, everybody has to participate. Different probably to other activities when I ask you to choose one participant to be like the speaker of the group. In this case, all of you guys have to participate, okay? So, first, I'm gonna send here to the chat the two files. Let me get back. This is session number 3. Could you confirm that you got the files, guys, in the chat?
Yes, teacher.
Very good. So, groups 1, 3, and 5, you will be working with the file that's name is conversation 1, okay? Groups 2, 4, and 6 will be working with the handout that says conversation 2. So we don't confuse each other, okay? So when I open the rooms, let me see the chat before we go. Well, Sebastian, in that case, well, you can help your group through the chat, maybe in the moment that you are creating the conversation to provide some opinions. And then when you go, like come back to the general call, you remind me, okay, that in your case, well, the microphone is not working tonight. Let me see one thing in the group that you are. Yeah, you can, anyway, you can help them. That will be it. There are some groups that have 4 participants. Well, I'm gonna make an adjustment. Give me a second. Okay, that would be it. Yes, guys, so remember, groups 1, 3, and 5, conversation 1, groups 2, 4, and 6, conversation 2. In this case, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. In the moment that everybody is on the group, I wanna make sure that everybody, let's say, has landed, sorry, to the corresponding place. Then I will like keep on reminding you the amount of time. And then when we get back, the idea is that, of course, we make the presentations. Well, not the presentation, we present the conversations. Well, let's open the room so you don't have to listen to my noise anymore. Let's start.
Teacher, I stay in the room 5.
Give me a second. What happened? Let me see. I have Andres Felipe, Mendy, iPhone, Manuela. Hamilton, what happened?
Es que estoy en el, como estoy de 2 usuarios, porque en el computador no tengo micrófono, en uno me envió a las 5 y en el otro a las 2. No sé en cuál es.
Hamilton, pues imagínate, claro. ¿Qué es? Está en las 5, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Listo, lo voy a enviar a las 5. A los 2 usuarios, pues me hubiera contado que estaba doble porque, pues, digamos acá no sabe, pero ya lo envié a las 5. Listo. Manuela, no sé si me escuchan.
Sí, profe, es que a mí se me cayó y bueno, ya resulté acá por fuera.
Listo, sí,
No
ya
puede
la envío. La voy a enviar a ver una que sea de 3 a la 1.
Thank you.
Listo. Valentina. Quizás tal vez. No, bueno. Valentina. Hi, ladies. Oh, my voice.
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
Teacher,
guys. Tell me.
can you share the document, the file?
You didn't download it. Okay.
Please.
What's your number? I forgot. Sorry. This is
Pues,
group number what?
two.
So it's conversations. There it is.
Thank you, teacher.
Welcome, guys. Let me leave. See you in a moment. Hello, guys.
Hi, Miss.
How are you?
Miss, can you tell us about the activity? Estamos perdidos con las preguntas.
Well, okay. You are group number 1? Sí.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Basically, the idea is to create a conversation. Se supone que ustedes van a abrir esta sucursal de la cafetería y la idea es que basados en lo que tienen en la imagen y la información acá, ustedes van a ver tienen, qué no tienen, qué tienen suficiente y qué tienen demasiado. ¿Listo? Entonces voy a decir algo al azar. Ay, me está llamando otro grupo. Digamos, se supone que van a vender té. Pero según la imagen, le estoy diciendo al azar, no tienen suficiente té, entonces no, mejor todavía no vendamos té mañana, ¿sí ves? Es más como por ese lado.
Ok. Por ejemplo, nos falta café.
Entonces, y
Ok,
la idea es que
Miss.
me digan con los quantifiers, no tenemos suficiente café.
Leche.
Eso. Entonces,
Ok.
según el menú como y de lo que tienen ahí, qué podrían y qué no podrían. Y por ejemplo, hamburger, tenemos suficiente. Podemos vender las
Ajá.
hamburguesas, es eso.
Ok, Miss. Listo,
Listo.
Miss. Thank you.
Guys, get bye.
Miss,
Hello, guys.
Hi, teacher.
How's
Hi, teacher.
everything?
I have a question because we are the group number 6, but we didn't know which one of the worksheet for working to the activity.
Okay, you downloaded number 1, but you were supposed to download number 2. That's a thing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sending you here. Or you already started with this one?
With the south cafe, no.
I mean, this one, like, have you already advanced in the conversation that you're going to present?
No, teacher.
Well, I just sent you the second one, so you can actually use that one as your point of reference.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Guys, let me know if you have any question.
thank
Bye.
you.
Welcome. Sebastian, could you remind me which is your group? Sebastián, no recuerdo el grupo al que lo había asignado. Estoy mirando acá, pero no. Con Alejandra Rosso. Ah, listo, number 2. Ya lo envío. Listo. Well, guys, welcome back. I hope that you could manage to include as much information as possible. As usual, I know that in some cases the amount of time gets to be like a complication. But well, let's begin. So today we're going to begin with group number 6. In your case, guys, you had in charge, let's say in charge, the information from worksheet number 2. So we have Andres Felipe, Benjamin, and Vanessa. Let's start, please.
Okay, we are start. So, welcome to the Hungry Hippo Cafe in the side sur, in the side south.
Hi, thank you. I would like, let me see the menu.
Okay, for today, we have drinks, hot food, sandwiches, and desserts. What do you want?
And Andres, how much cost the hamburgers in this cafe?
Okay, the cost of the hamburgers is 2.40 pounds.
Okay, please, in the order, please give me 2.
Okay,
And how about drinks? You have some
wait,
coffee?
I will say you that for today we are giving you 2 for 1.
Okay, nice.
So for Vanessa, do you want something drink?
Yes, I want orange juice.
Okay.
How many types of sandwich do you have?
Okay, we have 2 types. Maybe if you like egg or if you like cheese.
Okay. I want a sandwich. A lot of cheese.
Okay, take it.
Andres, finally for me, please give me orange juice, please.
Okay, I got it. And any extra or something else?
Yes.
Okay, guys, I can interrupt you. Sorry. Do you still have more information to share, or you were about to wrap it up?
No, it's finished.
No, that's enough.
Okay. Yeah, because well, you were actually I'm gonna give you the feedback at the end, so I don't have like the issue like yesterday that then we don't have enough time for all the groups, and today is Friday, so I don't want like a final group to wait until Monday. So I will just give like the, let's say the turn, I guess, to the other ones. So thank you, group number 6. I will give you my feedback at the end. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Andres, Benjamin, and Vanessa. Let's have a look at room number 5. Group number 5, Hamilton, Karen, and Xiomara.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Karen, what you had got too much of bread burger?
No, we have to buy more bread burger.
And what we haven't got any for tomorrow?
Oh, for tomorrow there is cheese, eggs, and sauce.
Will we have enough of orange juice?
Yes, there are many orange for juice.
What you had got too much of coffee?
No, we need to buy coffee because our clients love it.
It finished, teacher.
Okay, group number 5, thank you very much. Just what it told group number 6. When we finish with all the groups, I will give you the feedback, okay? Let's move to group number 4. We have Maria Vega, Mendy, and Jessica.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Hello, teacher.
Hi.
Hello, Maria. Hello, Jessica. We're going to open our Hungry Hippo coffee. I am here at the supermarket and I need the list of the ingredients to buy.
Okay, wait
Do you
a
have the
moment.
list?
Yes. Jessica and I are checking the list of the ingredients for tomorrow. First, please buy more oranges and tea for the drinks because we haven't got enough.
Okay. And Jessica, what are your list?
I need eggs and cheese because we have very few.
Okay. I'm going to buy these ingredients. Thank you.
And please buy cheese for the sandwiches because we don't have.
Okay. And Jessica, another ingredient?
No, Mandy, thanks. We
Okay,
don't
thanks.
need anything else.
See you tomorrow at the open.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Let's move on with group number 3. We have Diego, Jennifer, Jorge, and Kiara.
The following situation occurs hours before opening the Hungry Hippo Cafe. Hi, everybody. We have to buy the things that are missing in the coffee shop.
Yes, what do you need to get?
We need to get orange, burger, bread, and desserts because there aren't anything of them, and obviously it's necessary.
We also don't have enough eggs, cheese for our sandwiches, and there is not any chocolate cake and ice cream. I think it's enough food to open our restaurant tomorrow.
We should go to the supermarket to buy the things we are missing or there aren't enough of them.
Sure, we will go in my car.
That's all, teacher.
That's all, teacher.
Okay, yeah, I was waiting. You remember that I always wait until you let me know that it is finished. Thank you, guys. The same. At the end, I will let you know your feedback. Let's move now to group number 2. We have Alejandra, Natalia, and Sebastian. Well, I know that Sebastian didn't have the microphone, so I guess this will be conducted by Alejandra and Natalia.
Yes, miss.
Okay.
Yes, teacher. We start. Hi, Nata. Are you excited for tomorrow?
Yes, I'm really excited because finally we will open the cafe Hungry Hippo.
Are we sure we have enough products for the inauguration?
Okay, let me see. We have got too many ingredients for sandwich and hot food. And we have got enough for desserts.
I see. What about drinks? We have enough ingredients?
Yes, we have.
how much will customers pay for the drink?
Yes, maybe we can make a happy hour for drinks. And the cost are for tea, 80, for coffee, 1.00 pound, for cola, 19, and for orange juice, 1.00.
Okay. With these discounts, the people will buy more drinks. I hope tomorrow we can sell everything. Until tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much. And we finish with group number 1, Catherine, Marlon, and Manuela.
Okay, teacher. Hi, guys. I am so excited. Are you ready for opening tomorrow?
Yes.
What are we going? Okay. And what are we going to offer on the menu?
We can offer tea, orange juice, hamburger, and chocolate case.
But we have too much cola in the fridge and many of orange.
Okay, guys. So remember, we haven't got enough of tea here.
And for the hot food, we haven't any of meat hamburgers.
I think we have enough eggs to make the chocolate cake, but we haven't got any ice cream for tomorrow. Finish.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you, guys. That's it. Very good. Well, thank goodness everybody could make their intervention. Let me stop here the timer so it doesn't ring. Well, guys, that was the idea. Like, that was the context. Like, you were about to open the cafe, which was also one of the words like to keep in mind in terms of pronunciation. So when we started with the first group, you managed to make the conversation, but talking like you were about to order in the restaurant, and that wasn't like the context provided. Guys, also, well, I think I can take advantage of the situation to talk about general aspects. Desserts. Remember that when we are talking about, let's say, the food that we are about to eat, it is going to be desserts. In some cases, you say dessert. Remember that dessert would be desierto. So dessert is, in this case, talking about the food to be eaten. Well, in group number 6, because you were talking about like more, let's order in the restaurant, you didn't really use the quantifiers, which was like one of the, let's say, topics to be implemented in the development of the conversation. In group number 5, you said, what haven't we got for tomorrow? That would be the way to make the question. And in some places you said, what do we have enough? Different, I would say, do we have enough of whatever? Do we have enough oranges? Because if we say, what do we have enough of oranges? What is already like being answered? Let's be careful with that. I'm going to say that in Spanish. Ya estamos dando la respuesta porque estamos diciendo que no tenemos naranjas o que no tenemos o tenemos naranjas. Sería una de las dos. Group number 4 and also applies to group number 2, the pronunciation. The other day we were saying that this is cafe, not coffee, because it's the short version of cafeteria. That is why it is cafe. So don't worry about that one. In case of group number 4, you were saying eggs and cheese, very few. Eggs are countable. We can say that we have very few eggs, but cheese is uncountable. So we would say very little. Different if we say very few pounds of cheese or slices of cheese, In that case, we could use few because we can count the pounds, the slices, and that would be it. Group number 3, the pronunciation of hippo. In this case, the H is actually pronounced, not like in Spanish, you know. And well, also the pronunciation of dessert. And one of you said there aren't anything of them. There aren't any of them. Esa es una. The other would be there aren't anything. Oh, there isn't anything because I'm talking about like zero quantity. In the case of group number 2, that you were talking about the prices, it's not necessary to say the 0, 0, you know, like coffee, 1 pound, that's it. Orange juice, 1 pound. And this P is pence. That is like cents. If in dollars we have cents, in pounds, la libra, este sería el centavo de la libra, por decirlo así. It is the pence, okay? So not just to say P, it's like the pence. Very good. And in group number 1, you say we have many of orange. So many of orange juice or many oranges. One of the two possibilities, like we need an extra help. That would be it. But guys, very good. In general, of course, I know that this type of activities tends to be a little bit complicated because you have to do like a lot. You have to agree on the information. You have to create the conversation. Then you have to polish it, to edit it in case that there are mistakes. But remember that the idea at the end of the day, the general idea of this course is that the part of conversation and communication is being, sorry, worked the most. Because don't forget that at the end of this cycle, there is like a module connected or related to call centers. And of course, everything will be related to having a more communicative approach in terms of the spoken part. Okay. Well, guys, I would like to know, you have any question? No questions?
No, miss.
It's clear.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, guys, so have a good weekend. Please start having a look at the activities in the virtual campus. We don't have enough time, just like these examples of the words that we used to count. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
teacher.
Thank you,
Bye, teacher.
everybody.